Push it off. On your face.
You do exactly what he tells you, Mono. Get onto the leg.
Get out here.
Your feet onto the leg.
Yeah.
All right.
Baby, that's my baby!
Your baby's all right.
Oh, my baby's all right.
Your baby's all right, girl. Safe down here. Your baby's safe. You shouldn't be having fire.
That's it. Come on in. You're safe now.
God bless your baby.
Where's my baby?
He's all right. Your baby's all right, girl. Get out here.
Yeah, he's all right. No problem.
There we are.
Right, okay.
Well done, fireman. Well done, the fireman. God bless you, fireman.
Here's your baby.
And first of all then, why after 20 years have you decided again to hold an open day?
Well, I think that we
need to demonstrate to the public that we're here, that we're interested in fire safety, and that we are doing a good job for the people of London. I'm urging everyone in London to be aware of fire, and I want them to all have smoke detectors in their homes, be alert to the dangers, and it follows that we have to demonstrate to London that we are an open force who are prepared to fight fires, but certainly would be prepared or would prefer to prevent fires. And the emphasis I'm putting on London in terms of fire safety is prevention of fire.
You have a rather special guest this afternoon from Japan. How did that come about?
Well, we have two very special guests. We have the Home Secretary, Mr Douglas Hurd, and we also have the chairman of the Federation of World Volunteer Firefighters Association, Mr Sazakawa, and he is here in London with delegations from nearly all, certainly 80-odd, 90 countries of the world, and they are holding their meeting in London and their parade and demonstrations at Ray Park in Surrey tomorrow, and I thought it would be a good idea that their visit to this country could perhaps coincide with the first of our annual reviews and indeed annual display of skills, and it's the first time that the London Fire Brigade has put this demonstration on for some 20 years, and I'm delighted. In the future, I'm hopeful that it will take the form of a two-day event over a weekend, and that we will invite members of the public and invited guests on one day, and all the firefighters and their families on the second of the days.
This appliance is a Dennis N type delivered in March in 1916, the London Fire Brigade, giving 16 years of excellent service. The appliance here before you is a 1941 Dennis Big 4, and powered by a 6,786cc four-cylinder petrol engine. The large turntable ladder, now entering the arena area, was new to the LCC London Fire Brigade in April 1937. It was posted to Soho Fire Station and served all of its time at the one station, not being withdrawn from service right until 1963. Smaller pumps such as this 1939 Dennis Light 4 were considered adequate for most brigades. This particular appliance was new to Watford Rural District Council just prior to World War II. Behind that, the 1939 Leyland Cub Pump Escape. This appliance was supplied new to Hinckley Fire Brigade in Leicestershire and cost new £2,000. The unusual colour scheme was chosen at the discretion of the then Chief Fire Officer. And now another large turntable ladder. This vehicle was built as an emergency tender for the LCC London Fire Brigade. From 1965 to 1968, 56 Dennis F106 appliances were delivered, and from 1969 to 1965, no less than 169 Dennis F108 appliances, now leaving the arena. Coming right up to date then, we now have a parade of the latest appliances. We have the latest Camovar 30-metre, that's 100-foot turntable ladder, which the brigade will be taking delivery of in the very near future. An area control unit, enabling us to take advantage of modern command and communications and controls at very large incidents, and giving us very latest facilities for control and radio. The chart at the time is Charles Dickens. And here we see below us a small group of ladies and gentlemen out on their afternoon stroll. They exchange greetings with each other and pass the time of day. An explosion. An explosion, ladies and gentlemen. The house screams from the windows. Mother and baby. What can they do? Very limited resources. There's nothing for it. Can we call the fire brigade? We've got the Metropolitan Fire Brigade still. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the Metropolitan Fire Brigade. Give them a cheer, come on, give them a cheer. Well done, lads, well done. Come on now, quickly. That poor lady, the poor lady and her baby, she's very distraught up there. Here they are, here comes the ladder, wheeled up to the window. Of course, it's all very well, we've got the ladder, we need a hero. We really need someone to go up and rescue this lady. Oh, well done, give him a cheer, we've got a hero, here he goes. Right up into the burning building. Well done, he's got the baby. Well done. The baby's safe. Well, that's all very well, but she's still up there, and we've still got to find some... Here's another one, come on, give him a cheer. The smoke's getting very thick up there. It's getting worse. Well done. Well, that's excellent. Carefully, carefully now, it's a long way down. She's very distraught. It's a long way down. Don't worry, my dear, you'll soon be down, you're in safe hands. Well done, thank goodness for that. Now, of course, that's done the rescues, that's absolutely superb, but we still haven't dealt with the fire. And all of that means we've got to build up the steam, we've got to wait for the pressure to build up. Time is passing, the fire is getting worse. But here we go, look at this, working from the steamer. That is quite something from an appliance of that age. When we're now up into 1970. Remember the days when England still held the World Cup? Hello, there's a fire. There's an explosion. The hotel in front of you is on fire. It looks like a problem. Here's the first attendants using 1970s appliances. These firefighters will be working in 2 crews. It's been reported the fire situation is on the 3rd and the 5th floor. Yes, I can see someone calling. The internal staircase is burnt away just before the Fire Precautions Act of 1971, you'll recall. A good solid jet to work. No time delays of steam boilers. You notice the firefighting apparel they're wearing, quite different from the firemen of today and quite different from the firefighter of today and tomorrow. The black helmets, black leggings. Good, and here comes the first person being rescued. Carried down on the fireman's shoulders. It's very smoky up there, lots of toxic smoke. Lots of plastics, lots of polyurethanes. There he is, they've seen him. He's on the 5th floor. Can you see him in the smoke? No, don't jump, don't jump. They'll be with you in a minute. And meanwhile, the crew on the left-hand side are using a hook ladder go scale the building floor by floor. And another hook ladder going up the wheeled escape, so you can make that extra floor. Of course, meanwhile, crews on the ground haven't been idle. They've been laying out the hose and the water, ready to attack the fire, be making their way into the bottom of the building. Second casualty from the crew on the left of the building. Again, all the way down. This could be dodgy. Well done, well done. Well done, give him a cheer, give him a cheer. That was all heroic stuff. And now the original rescuers have to make their way right the way down the building again. All of this equipment would have been very typical in the London Fire Brigade in the period that we're talking about, 1970. Considerable strength and agility needing to use these ladders. Use them with great skill, great deal of training. No anabolic steroids here, you see. Well done. It's now some firefighting. We've separated the two here. So, some jets brought to work. A lot of water brought into play. Some 300 volunteers here this afternoon, and this was just a tribute to recognise that we have 4 watches, red, white, blue and green, representing the 4 watches of London Fire Brigade. Police have called the fire brigade. Police are able to summon the fire brigade from anywhere in the capital and see the special services of the London Fire Brigade are required. With the imminent danger of fire and explosion, they'll need to get in very quickly indeed and perform a snatch rescue to make the occupants safe before they can start to fight the fire. Meanwhile, the crew, using the latest Hamatro cutting gear, are able to make rapid entry into the vehicle. They're confronted here with one person out now, but the second clearly is more seriously injured. It looks like a back injury. He clearly can't be pulled out the same way and can't be moved quite as easily. All the time administering first aid, talking to the patient, reassuring him or her that they're able to execute this very careful rescue. And moving on to an advanced level of first aid, as well as putting on a saline drip and a cervical collar. All firefighters are trained to an advanced stage of St John's Ambulance training and certification, and indeed will be moving on to become highly trained parts of emergency medical teams. Highly skilled crew, as I say, attending incidents in real life. So our casualty is as comfortable as it can be for the moment, being protected from further injury and potential paralysis, and time was worth taking for that. And they're placing him ready for immediate hospitalisation, keeping the casualty warm. And off he goes. Let's give him a cheer. Well done. Today's problem is a suspected gas leak, reported by one of the inhabitants. So the fellows from the gas board are having a good search around, trying to find the source. Any leak that isn't dealt with can cause a really serious fire or explosion. Is there someone at the gate? We seem to have a problem down at the gate there. I think one of the local residents has been taking advantage of the extending opening hours. Can we just... He's on the arena area at the moment. He certainly looks as though he's had a drop too much. Excuse me, could you put that cigar out? We've got a gas leak. And it really, no, sir, it really isn't very helpful at this stage. It really is very dangerous, this. Well done, perhaps the strong arm of the law can assist. Seems to be a bit of a problem down there. It's not really too clever, this. Oh, no. Oh, that's it. He's thrown his cigarette away. We now have the gas leak that's ignited. That's how it all starts, of course. People being very careless. Fortunately, it's only a small fire and it's outside the flats as well, so we should be able to keep this under control. And the workmen are trying to deal with the blaze. But I really think someone ought to call the fire brigade. We shouldn't delay. Call the fire brigade at the very earliest opportunity. Gas leak seems to have gone up into the flats. And there you are, there's an explosion. No, madam. We've got a serious incident on our hands. Oh dear. We have a real problem up there. The fire spread up the main staircase. We've now got someone on the second floor. He's threatening to jump from the window. Oh dear, naughty cheat. It's pretty predictable, isn't it? Well, here's the London Fire Brigade. They've got a real problem on their hands now. They've got gas throughout the building, they've got a fire at the main staircase, and they've got people trapped. They've got a real job on their hands here. Our friends now up on the upper floors. Here we go. No longer the wheeled escape, now a modern 13.5 metre, that's 45-foot ladder, taken right into the building. Modern breathing apparatus, Quite a different sight from that Victorian fire scene now. Breathing apparatus being put on, compressed air, being able to go right into the fire and fight the fire. Turntable ladder, giving us a reach of some 100 feet. Carry down the ladder, very quick indeed. Breathing apparatus teams on your left, being very carefully controlled and monitored for their air supply, contents of their cylinders before they go into the incident. Breathing apparatus control officer there. All well tried and practiced procedures for the safety of crews and to effect rescues if necessary, and certainly to carry out firefighting operations. The casualties taken to your right, where they first aid can be administered in a casualty handling area, clear of the fire situation, comforted, first aid administered, ambulance service summoned, can be removed to hospital. So now we have the turntable ladder on the upper floors. No longer the hook ladder going up the outside of the building. Here they're able to put the turntable ladder right against the window, right up to the windowsill, allowing the occupants to walk down the ladder as though it were a staircase. Firefighters then offering a very professional service to the community here with all the latest equipment. One of the occupants has now woken up. Still a problem with smoke. Smoke, very toxic. Any sign of fire, call the fire brigade, get out of the building, make sure everyone else is out of the building by shouting or calling. So we've got them brought to safety, and the other occupant being brought safely, carefully down the turntable ladder. Using modern high-pressure hose reels, breathing apparatus crews, again deployed, all working as teams. Highly trained, knowing what's expected of them and what's expected of their colleagues. A lot going on. Gives you a broad picture of the versatility and the capabilities of the modern fire service. Running up the ladder, but the weight of all that equipment, including breathing apparatus and boots and helmet, is some 50 pounds. He has to be fit to be able to move at that pace up that ladder. And there goes another one. But the turntable ladder are able to execute a different rescue. You can see the body coming out now. Circumstances may be that the person being rescued can't walk down the ladder. Maybe injured, maybe an invalid already. Safely moving the patient away from the building. away from the fire and away from the activity going on around the building. Yes, there's fire coming out of the workman's hut. You can just see cylinders inside, cylinders that could explode. Those cylinders could become potentially unexploded bombs. In this case we had special chemical protection suits. See the mask going up on the area fire control unit, setting up its communications. Able to communicate instantly both onto the fire ground, to the officer in charge and to personnel, and of course back to the brigade headquarters control. Now cylinders, when exposed to heat and fire, are a danger. They can not only explode at the time of the fire, they can explode much later. So over on the left you see a fire crew filling an improvised dam with water, in which they can remove the cylinder and leave it in water for a considerable time. So here they are wearing special protective clothing. Very hazardous situation, moving in towards those cylinders that can explode and become potential bombs and can fragment and cause very serious injury indeed, and even collapse of a building. The priority will be not to use a jet but to use a protected spray to cool those cylinders down. And when they are satisfied that they can be moved and they're cool enough to bring away from the site of the incident, they will carefully be moved to the relative safety of the dam of water which has been set up for them. Almost like unexploded bombs, these, in this state. And they'll be left in that water, submerged for over 24 hours, until we're absolutely sure they are safe and can be moved. The officer in charge is satisfied that all the fire is under control, the rescues have been made, the firefighting undertaken. Instruction is given to restow all the equipment. All the appliances before you are equipped with modern radio. This allows them to be redirected to another incident at very short notice. It's imperative, therefore, that the equipment is put back on the appliance and readily available for use, and redirection, if necessary, from this incident. Some 300 volunteers this afternoon and backroom people. They've really done us proud on the first of these occasions. Division Officer Lou Gill offering to present the crews, and for the salute taken by Mr. Sasakawa.